You are watching IGN Live now. Players have been begging Ubisoft to bring Assassin's Creed to Japan for years now. With Assassin's Creed Shadows coming this fall, longtime series fans have finally gotten their wish. Joining me now to tell me more is Brooke Davies, Associate Narrative Director on Assassin's Creed Shadows. What's up? So, are there any Assassin's Creed fans here? Good. You guys are in the right place. Yeah, it's true. I feel like Japan's been like the most requested setting for Assassin's Creed for a long time. Why was it finally the right time to take Assassin's Creed to Japan?
I think the dev team is as excited as our fans are to be bringing this setting to everybody. Every great opportunity needs a time and a place. The place was feudal Japan, is feudal Japan for the game, and the time was in 2020. The team decided to make it happen.
Wow. So 4 years have been working on this.
Yep.
Wow, okay. So 2 protagonists this time out. Is it Naue? Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yep, Naue.
And Yasuke. Very different characters. What can you tell us about each of them?
Naue and Yasuke are an incredible duo and very different people. So Naue is our shinobi. She's a young Egan woman, Iga being the province, the birthplace of the shinobi. She's the daughter of Fujibayashi Nagato, a legendary shinobi, so she comes by her amazing shinobi skills very honestly. She's an intense person. She wears her heart on her sleeve. And we see this in many instances in the game. Her intensity is as brutal against her enemies as it is compassionate against the people who she's fighting for justice for. Yasuke is a terrific, steady, level head to this. Really helps bring some balance to her. Yasuke, our first historical character, is going to connect some very key players in our game's story. The daimyo Oda Nobunaga, one of the most powerful people in Japan at this point in history, and the Jesuits. And he and Naue come together. Don't get off to a great start, but do find a shared path together and work together to bring justice to the people of Japan.
So, at the start of the game, do they already know each other?
They don't.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
In terms of like gameplay-wise, are we switching back and forth between them at will, or is it the game handing you off as the story progresses?
So we do have separate personal stories for Naue and Yasuke, and you'll get to play through each of them. But they're going to unfold gently alongside of other elements of the story. So yeah, we'll really get a bit of both. And then, of course, beyond their personal stories, players will be able to choose who they want to play with, shinobi or samurai, Naue or Yasuke, through many of the game's missions.
Let's see. What does the audience think? Shinobi?
Except for both.
Or samurai?
Also samurai.
Pretty even there. So what's sort of what's the conflict that brings them two together, and what are they both sort of fighting for?
So from a narrative perspective, we were super lucky to land on this time period. We're in the Azuchi Momoyama period. The game opens in 1579, and what's happening shortly after the game opens is we're going to come to a time of war, and the daimyo that Yasuke is serving, Oda Nobunaga, he's going to go to the province of Iga, which I just mentioned, Naue's home province, for the Second Tensho Iga War to conquer Iga as part of his mission to unify Japan. So the first time their paths cross, they're on opposite sides of a brutal war, and a lot of the people who Naue loves and cares about are not going to make it through the conflict.
And so how realistic were you going for in the region of Ica? That's right. You know, there's always sort of there's some fantastical elements in Assassin's Creed, but you have a real historical character here. How sort of realistically are you trying to portray this time period and this setting?
So the story is a historical fiction. We start with research into the history to get to know really well this time in history, the setting, the culture, because we're going to Japan. Basically to compose sort of the historical palette of the game. What are the facts? What do we know? And then on the narrative team, we come in with the story, and we take these story elements that have to fit the palette of the history that we're working with and start blending them together, but in a very harmonious way. The historical validation and research is an ongoing process from the start of the game, still ongoing now, all the way up into the end.
Will there be opportunities for romance and building relationships?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah. And the amazing thing about the dual protagonists that we had fun with on the writing team was developing these relationships, imagining these relationships that these two very different people could have with different people that they encounter in the game world.
So, yeah, people generally like romance in their games, right? So where is the Brotherhood at this time period in terms of their organization? And are Naue and Yasuke members of the Brotherhood?
So I don't want to give away any spoilers, but I can say you may have noticed Naue wearing the hidden blade, and this blade is a super powerful symbol of the destiny that Naue is sort of brutally pushed into at the moment of this war in Iga.
There have been a fair amount of recent games that have tackled feudal Japan in recent years. How is Assassin's Creed Shadows going to differentiate itself from other games that have a similar setting?
We've got our dual protagonists. We've got our amazing shinobi in samurai pair that not only do they go well together, but in coming together, they become so much more than the sum of their parts. And this same sort of dynamism that we see at this point in history, this time of civil war, intrigue, we see in the dynamic friendship that they build, and then we're going to see it in our world, the dynamic seasons of the world. We have all 4 seasons, and this is going to bring feudal Japan to life in a way that's just so detailed. There's so much potential, and it influences gameplay. So no 2 playthroughs are going to be alike.
Well, yeah. I love Assassin's Creed. I don't know about anyone else, but I'm excited for AC Shadows. Thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you so much for having me.
Assassin's Creed Shadows is out November 12th on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, PC, Mac, and Amazon Luna. Stick around, wait 1 second. We've got more IGN Live ahead.